So let's say in Illustrator for a project I want to create a polka dot pattern. When you first think about it, it kind of sounds simple because it's just circles and it's in perfect columns and rows, but it's actually harder than you think it would be. So what I'm going to first do is show you kind of the rough way of doing it that can get you by, and then the better way of doing it that'll take you only a few minutes. So let's go ahead and grab our ellipse tool, and I have a blue fill color and a black stroke, and you can change whatever settings you want to. And I'm going to click and drag, and again I'm going to hold the shift key to make sure I'm getting a perfect circle. So I'll pop that circle up to the top and kind of arrange it the way I want it to. And then if I wanted to make more circles, it's going to be tough if first I come and try to draw a perfect circle each time, because I might not get the exact same size. I might come over here and have to like eyeball it, and you can already tell right now that they don't look the same. So the better way of doing this is to actually copy it. Now I could do Command C and then Command V to paste it, but it's kind of moving all the way over there, and you got to move it over, and it just gets kind of tedious, especially if I'm doing a whole polka dot page. So instead, what I want you to do is, with the selection tool activated, you hold the Alt key on your keyboard, or an Option on a Mac, Alt key on a PC, and that's going to allow you to drag the object while simultaneously copying it. So let me go ahead and try to make this polka dot pattern. And then I could really spend a lot of time trying to make sure that they're evenly spaced apart, and that's not working out for me. So I could come over here and just start rearranging these and try to get them perfect, but it's going to take you a long time to make them perfect. Thankfully, this little intersect green line is showing me that the centers are lining up. But sometimes, let's say I have it down here and I have this one up here, it's just going to take a really long time to make these all line up. So what should we do? Well, what we need to do is go up to the window menu and choose the Align panel. And this is going to allow us to align various objects. So first thing we need to do is select all the objects that we want to align. So I could click on each one and hold the Shift key and click on each one, and it's going to become a part of a selected group. An easier way is with the selection tool. Just click and drag a marquee and make sure that marquee touches each of the objects. It doesn't have to fully cover them. As long as it touches them, then they all become a part of a selected group. So now what I need to do is I need to come over here and do a vertical align top. This means it's going to align all of their top anchor points. Or I could do vertical align center or vertical align bottom. That's a great thing about each of these circles, is that I can align those and they're going to work perfect through any of those points. If, however, I had, let's say I was doing squares, and I had this square and I was trying to get these all to align, but they're all different widths and they're all different heights and whatnot, then that would make a little bit of a difference, because if I align the bottom, that's what it's going to look like. If I align the top, that's what it's going to look like. And then if I align the center. So once I've got all of my circles aligned top, what I need to do is make sure my left circle and my right circle is the same distance from the edge, because that's how we're going to do something called distribution. So I'll highlight all those circles again, and you can see I have equal distance between the left edge, or the right edge of that circle, and the left edge of this one. Maybe this one needs a little bit more in. So now I can highlight again all of these, and this one I'm going to come to and do horizontal distribute center. And that's going to take all of that space between each of the objects, and it's going to evenly divide them between each gap that the object should have. So now that's a perfectly aligned row. So I can again select it and kind of move it up, get it where I want it. And now the cool thing about that Alt key is I can highlight that entire row of circles, and then I can hold the Alt key and move them down again. So that's going to copy that entire row. Now I could keep doing that, but it's going to get kind of tricky, because when you do that, what if you're off? What if you don't distribute the rows evenly? Well, that's going to become obvious. It doesn't become obvious kind of when you're working with it, But now, as you can see, some have very little gaps between, and then some have very large gaps, and so it just still kind of looks imperfect. So let's undo all that, and let's see how to do this easier. I'll hold the Alt key down and move my one row down, and this is considered one transformation. There's a special keyboard shortcut. It's Command D on a Mac or Control D on a PC, D for dog. And what that's going to do is repeat the last transformation. So now I can do Command D and make a whole slew of polka dots. So again, I have kind of a big gap down here, so that becomes kind of a problem. So I can come up here, highlight them all, and kind of nudge them until they look even on the top and bottom. So now we have a good symmetrical polka dot pattern going. So let's go ahead and see how to do this one time real quick. So let's try a totally different shape. I'll do a star, and we'll do kind of an orangish yellow. Oop. All right. So from this one, I don't want it to be that big, and I don't want it to have that many spikes, so I'll hit the down key, and I'm going to put it there, and shift to make it straight, and there we go. So again, what I'm going to do is hold the Alt key and copy that. And now the cool thing, I can do Command D all the way across, and it's not evenly spaced, so we'll do that, and then we'll highlight all these and do distribute, and then make sure they're lined up. So there's my perfect row. So I'll highlight them again with the marquee selection method, Alt, and drag that down, and try to make sure they intersect, and now Command D. Uh-oh. See how they went from here, and they kept going and going and going, and now they're touching? So it looks like I didn't select and copy that one perfectly. So what I can do is hold the Alt key, drag it down, but if I hold Shift, it's going to make sure I can't go to the left or right too much. It's going to try to keep it even. So now I can do Command D, and I have a perfect grid or pattern of these stars. So, and it's okay if they kind of hang out side of the artboard. That's perfectly fine. So let me move that up so it looks equal. There we go. All right. So the last thing we want to talk about is how to select. So if I grab, again, the marquee or the selection tool, I can marquee select certain objects, and I can go ahead and paint them a different fill color. And if I didn't want it to be a perfect square, I can grab this lasso tool, and I could come in here, and let's say I wanted to do something like this, and I wanted to turn all these a different color. Oops. All right, let's try that again. Okay. There we go. And let's change all this fill color to a bright green. So that's allowing me to select something that's not a uniform square. And then what if I wanted to select this green and I didn't really like it with the red and the blue? What I can do is grab this magic wand tool and click the green. It's going to click or select all of the objects that are that green color. So I can come in here and change that, let's say, to yellow. And again, I can go up to select, and I'll choose, let's say, this blue. Oops. I'll select just the blue circle, object, select, same appearance, same fill and stroke, same fill color, so I'll do same fill color. And what this is going to allow me to do is select all of those blue that were kind of divided, and I can change all of these, and let's change these to purple. So the selection tools and being able to copy and paste something using the Alt key and being able to align and then making sure that you can select things based on their various appearance properties, those are some basic foundational skills that you need to know to work efficiently and quickly in Illustrator. If you did all of this by hand and tried to perfectly line it up, you'd spend a lot of time, and I guarantee you it still wouldn't be perfectly aligned.